Bolovinaka Namaste and welcome to Her Story. I'm Temalesi Vono. Tonight we sit down with Pulotu Rika, a mother, a grandmother, former educator and woman of faith who is now stepping into politics at 68 years old. From her childhood in Levukanapanombalabu to nearly 3 decades in Fiji's education system, Pulotu will share the personal journey that shaped her values, her faith, her grief, and her decision to enter public life. She has been part of many educational outreach programs during her 30 years in the education ministry while doing voluntary work as a member of the Songa Marama. Now she is one of the women trainees who intends to stand in the upcoming general elections. Bolovinaka, Mrs. Rika, how are you? How are you feeling today?
Thank you. I'm feeling very well, thank you.
I hope you're not feeling very uncomfortable in front of the camera.
No.
Is this your first time being interviewed in a show like this?
Second, yes.
Second. Okay,
Yesterday
so
was the first, and yes, quite new though.
Okay, so we'll just take us back to Lebukana Wanambalawu, where you grew up. What kind of little girl were you growing up?
Thank you. Pulotu at that time, during my childhood, was a rebellious child, but a child growing up with adults in that close-knit family, close-knit community. I learned the roles, the responsibility very early in a village setup, and those values I have carried through and still with me. Thank you.
What is your earliest memory of home that still stays with you?
Yes, thank you. I was the only child at home at that time. My older siblings, they have moved to Bitilevu because of education. So I grew up as the only child around at home at that time. I grew up in a family which was quite different from other families in the village because my dad was a former policeman and then he went back to the village. At that time, we're talking about 1960s. So he has to go back to look after his role in the village. So he carried across values into the Fijian context, which has a lot of positive and negatives. Yeah. Our mothers were entrepreneurs. We talk about women empowerment now, entrepreneurship and all. They were doing business. You know, it amazed me when I look back and reflect. Here we are now talking about all this. These women, they were doing it. They would go like this on Thursday. They go and get fish and whatever to sell. They work on it. Friday, they go to Loma Loma. They went to Loma Loma. They're going to sell to the, Loma Loma is like a business center and commercial, Yeah. Their values and what they did at that time, there's a gap there and what we are seeing now. And that disappoints us to a large extent. My dad was the late Chotame Vanua, who was a former policeman. And my mom was Toria Yalira, also from Lebukana. These two are cousins. This going back to the cultural side of things. Yes. Their marriage was arranged marriage. There was an age gap. Maybe, the values they carried was because my dad came from like an educated family at that time. So these two brothers were working in Suva. And their elder sister was supposed to have gone to nursing school at that time. But somehow she eloped. So she went to nearby Mango. Mango was owned by a European at that time. Boren, Mr. Boren, whose house is Boren, is
Bourne Street.
Bourne Street, at Bourne Home. Yeah, that
Bourne Home, yes.
same guy. So they went there. They, it changed them. So they carry that to the village. So, that's why I said their mindset, their values differ, and that didn't go well with the village context at that time, Yeah. And, that's my mother.
We will go on a short break, so don't go anywhere. This is her story. I'm Temalesi.
Every day, thousands of Fijians turn to one place to know what is happening, for the stories that matter, for the moments that bring us together, for the news you trust. Recognized by BBC Media Action Research as one of Fiji's most trusted news sources, that place is Fiji Village. And because Fiji keeps moving, so do we. We've listened to how you read, watch and listen, what you love, what you want more of, and what could simply be easier. And now the wait is over. The new Fiji Village website is now live. Built with you in mind, made smarter, made faster, made for the way you connect with us every day. No more searching for your favorite videos. Watch Now brings everything together in one place, ready when you are. Missed your favorite radio show? Head to Listen, your home for live radio, podcasts and audio content whenever it suits you. Sports fans can now get live scores faster with our new scoreboard feature. Need a story explained? Ask AI is there to help as well. And reading late into the night? Switch on dark mode and scroll in comfort. The same trusted news now with a smarter, easier experience built for you. Fiji Village, your trusted news provider.
Welcome back to Her Story. I'm Temalesi. Mrs. Rika, before being a civil servant, you've worked in the education ministry for 3 decades before going into charity work, outreach programs. Who was Pulotu as a young woman before she got married?
Well, my primary education, I was not very good. Very good in the sense I missed school a lot of time because of the responsibilities my dad had. Coming to stay with relatives, being from the maritime, trying to navigate our life here, staying with relatives.
Hard,
It was hard, really, but I was fortunate that my relatives were supportive. And I would like to say, I failed Form 6. I failed Form 6. But that didn't stop me at that time, so I went into training school, teacher training school. And then I realized I was not satisfied with being a primary teacher to New Sawa. I finished off up class 6 in Vono and the Maupa Primary School. From there, I moved on to Richmond. From Vono to Richmond in Kandavu. Life on Vono was quite different from Kandavu. The food in Kandavu, like zawaki, that's where I tasted zawaki. It stayed with me, the new food. So being teachers, they knew how to, to move me, to make me a new person there. So I was given tasks that I was not given at home, because at home I just I was a freelancer, just not did it because I was, spoiled in some sense. Yes. So in Kandavu, it took me this is the transition, Yeah. Took me 1 month to cry because of the changes of that and the responsibility I was given. And then being there, our house was on top of the hill in Richmond. So from there we can look across to Vitilim. So for me, I looked out. All I did was cry. Wanted to go back home. And I think this is what many people go through. Moving from here to there with the culture, everything changes. So go out to sea, to go and look for food. While the borders did that, I did that too. And in Kandavu, in Richmond, you have to look for food too. They call it chiro, eh? Chiro. You have to go and look for leiro, you have to go and look for kuka. You know, that's responsibility I was given at that time.
Okay.
Eh? Yes, so I learned. And one thing too, the language. I have to learn their dialect.
Do you still know how to speak in
Yes,
Kandavu
and
dialect?
I relate now. Even now, I'm so happy when I meet somebody, and they know me. They you know, oh Pulotu, you were in
Kandavu.
Kandavu at that time, and they still recognize me, and I still could recognize, and I could relate to them. So for the Kandavu experience, and then God allowed that I went back in my professional to go for school visit. Yes, I still know, I still can speak Kandavu dialect. Yeah. Good experience, and I love it.
We'll be back after this short break. This is her story. I'm Temalesi Vono with Mrs. Pulotu Rika.
Bula Fiji villagers, we've had a bit of a glow up and we know some of you are probably wondering, hey wait, where did the videos go? Don't worry, we didn't hide them. The video section has a brand new name and it's now called Watch. That means all your favorite videos and shows are now in one place and easier to find. Want your Fiji Village Straight Talk with Viji and Orion? It's there. Looking for Trending Amodengu? It's there too. Latest videos? Yep, all there. Don't miss the Watch section on Fiji Village, your trusted news provider for the latest videos, stories, and shows all in one place. Go and have a look and tell us what you're watching first.
Welcome back to Her Story. I'm Temalesi Vono with Mrs. Pulotu Rika. Mrs. Rika, was there ever a moment in this journey, like in this journey you mentioned when we were talking earlier, you are being trained to run for the upcoming general elections. You are one of the few. How many women are you being trained with? First of all, just explain to us what that training is and who is it with?
Well, the Pearl, it's called the Pearl Workshop, to equip us for the spaces, to stand in either the local government election or parliament.
Right.
Yes. And well, for me, wanting to I put up my hand for that. It was through conviction. With all my experiences, my journey, my life's journey, now that I'm 68, my life's journey, my professional journey, my community work, all this has positioned me, I firmly believe, has positioned me at this time, in this season, to enter politics. So I have the confidence. I am not bothered with what people say, particularly my age. The people are broken. They are not healed yet with the many things in the last 16 years or so. These women that we together here, they are women of faith. Not only faith and the experiences. So when they talk, they know what they're talking about. Yes, so in terms of visibility of women, and from what I gathered from my colleagues, need a lot of work, barriers have to be broken down, so women can be seen, they can be seen theoretically, but they have to be seen in practice. So when I say that, I mean women to be given resources, women to be given areas of responsibilities. Yeah. So we need more visibility, we need more support, and women. Yeah. What I can say, yes, I've seen that, with our men. Yes, it's just men, everything. You see it, you know that you can talk to them, you pray. Prayer will make the changes. Yes. Yes. Right. We're living in a society that, the man is above women. And
Was it the same as back then from when you were growing up?
I would say,
Comparatively?
I can speak for myself, for my village. This is what I saw. At that time, even the women in my village, our grandmothers were given land. You know, so which means for me, they acknowledge women. You know, that's a message that I got. I think not all villages
I like that.
I like that. So they respected. So that land has come to descendants. So you know, but usually our society, land ownership is for men. Everything to the advantage of men, not women. Yeah. But I'm lucky. I came from that community. That women are to many back then. They were acknowledged.
Just my last question before we wrap up the show. What would your late husband say if he saw you stepping into this space that you're trying to get in?
Well, before he passed on, he knew. I had to inform the family first. So he knew. He said, yes, go for it. And I've learned a lot too while he was in Parliament. I was there supporting him, walk alongside him. So stepping in for me, that when he was in Parliament, you know, I was aware. I knew what, you know, when he talks about this now. I learned from him. When he talks about the words, the terms, the responsibility, and yes, he blessed me. And I'm happy that when he went, he knew it, and he said, okay. My family said, okay. They didn't see my age. They knew my capability. Now that he's gone, he would be happy. He would be happy because he knew I have what it takes to get into Parliament, because I was a good support for him. You know, I supported him. And yes, and I said before, I helped him in the speeches and all. Yeah. Either I prepare the speech, he saw it, take it to the party, or whatever, I come and vet, you know, edit. He didn't say, you know, and that mattered to me, apart from God, my husband. Other people, it doesn't affect me really. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Rika. I hope that those who are watching this will be able to grasp all that and be able to move forward with what you have given us so far. And that was, ladies and gentlemen, Mrs. Pulotu Rika. And thank you for joining us on her story. I am Temalesi Vono. Join us again in the next fortnight for the next episode.